Well, my next question is, so like we're recording this in early February. So what is the plan for the rest of your 2023? Are you following good weather? Are you going to cycle the entire year? Are you going to have a rest period built into this year?
Yeah, I have missed having the winter off. This is the first time I've cycled straight through. So this is already my longest tour without, stopping for any sort of significant break. Which my body has sort of noticed, let's say. Or I just sort of missed that break. So I probably do need to sort of factor something like that in. But right now I'm heading towards Jordan. I should be in Jordan in March, in Palestine and Israel around Easter time. And then I'll be getting to Egypt for May.
Wow.
Um, yeah, it would be nice to be in Ethiopia by the summer, just to be in the cooler mountains. But I think that's going to be too much of a rush. So yeah, I haven't, because I haven't had the winter off. That's when I normally do like a lot of very diligent planning work, and so I just haven't had that opportunity yet. So yeah, I'm zooming towards a year cycling down the eastern side of Africa without really actually having planned it very much yet.
Cairo to Cape
Okay.
Town.
That's it.
So I know what I love about bike packing. I love the simplicity of riding to the end of the day, setting up your camp, brewing
Mm-hmm.
up dinner, and you have really no possessions other than your tent and your sleeping bag and your stove,
Mm-hmm.
and then packing up the next day. And it's just such a simple goal to just ride your bike to the end of the day and set up camp again. And it's so
Yeah.
fantastic on the route. So for you as a world bike tourer now, and it sounds to me like this is what you're going to be doing for forever. What
Hope
is it
so.
about bike touring? What is it about bike touring? Tell our listeners what it is that makes you want to ride your bike for between 60 and 100K a day every day.
I mean, when you put it like that, I don't know if that's what I actually want to always do, but it's a way for me to experience the world and people and landscapes and food and languages in a very economical way. Keeps me fit. It's the best way to meet people. The amount of invites I've had, they just wouldn't have existed if I was driving through in a car. That just wouldn't have existed. I was offered a lift actually quite recently by a nice Swiss couple in like a big motorhome. It was raining, but if I'd have taken that lift, I would have missed out on so much adventure in between, good and bad. But it's just the best way to experience a country. Is by bicycle. And I have camper vanned around Australia, and that's also great. But you're sealed off in your little vehicle, and you're not experiencing like every climb or
Yeah.
the you
Every
know
scent, every scent
yeah,
along the way, and the
the
sounds,
smells.
and
Yeah,
yeah.
there's
There is
you
something
have to be out
very,
in it.
there's something very specific the speed of a bicycle journey,
Yeah,
right? Like it's faster than foot, but it's way slower than a car. And there's sort of a sweet spot in there for
yeah,
the way that you can experience a place.
that's
I've heard
exactly
it
right.
best.
It's the perfect speed.
I've heard it best described at traveling at the speed of life, and I love that
Yes,
expression
yeah,
because you're so vulnerable too when you're traveling in a foreign country. I find that I'm far more open, and I must actually somehow transmit that to others because people are always trying to help. They're always giving you directions. A lot of times the directions are wrong, but they're always people. I think when you travel, especially the way you're traveling, is you're so open, and you said it earlier that you're not wrapped in glass and steel in a caravan going across the outback. You're open to conversations, to people, you're vulnerable, and I think that makes a big difference.
yeah, yeah. And people are just thrilled to meet you as well. You have a lot of privilege when you're riding a bicycle. People tolerate you sleeping in mosques because they understand that you can't just ride the 80 kilometers or whatever it is to the next hotel. So as long as you're respectful and friendly, then people are very happy to welcome you and let you sleep in a place that isn't designed for me to sleep in. But that doesn't happen if you have a car. Then you might get told no,
I know.
sling go and stay in a hotel. But on a bicycle, you get, people are just, they're very impressed with you. They're very pleased to meet you. And more often than not, people will go out of their way to help you in any way they can because you've come by bicycle.
It just opens doors, doesn't it? And it opens
Uh,
hearts too.
yeah, I think especially people are, when you tell them that you've cycled here from England, that I think they're just very proud that you've chosen to visit their country, especially countries that are quite new to tourism or tourism is quite limited. I think people feel very proud that you've looked at a map and said, oh, I want to go there, and picked their country. And it's a matter of pride for them as well.
So I heard one interview you talked about a Bill Bryson quote, and I love Bill Bryson, so I was happy to hear that. I don't know if you read In a Sunburned Country, where he describes coming to Australia as a tourist.
Oh yeah, I think it's called Down Under. The Yeah, but
No,
yes.
it's In a Sunburned Country, and it is
Oh, it's a different
like
one.
you're laughing out loud. If you're sitting in an airplane, it's embarrassing because it's so funny. But you mentioned a quote, and I think I found the quote, and it's a long quote, but he basically says that hesitating at street corners to decide whether that cheerful and homey restaurant you will remember fondly for years is likely to lie down this street or that one, question mark. I just love it. I could spend my life arriving each evening in a new city. And I think that's what you're doing. I mean, every day you're arriving in a strange land.
Yeah, one of my favorite things is when I cross the border into a new country, because if I've spent probably, let's say, the maximum 3 month, whatever the visa is, in the previous country, and you've just sort of got the hang of, you recognize if it's a script you don't understand or read very well, you can recognize when something's a supermarket, and you know what foods that you like, how the ATMs, which bank will accept your ATM card or which won't. You've just sort of got the hang of it after 3 months, and then you cross the border, and it's like, whoop,
Exactly.
new
Everything's
idea
new
all over
again.
again. And that's my favorite thing, is to be in a new country and not know what's going on. I just
Discomfort. You
it's a,
embrace the discomfort of it.
I guess it's learning, and it's experiencing new things, and being outside of your comfortable zone. It's the best sensation for me.
Well, most people who live more quote unquote traditional lives, our comfort zones are measured in spans of years, and yours are sometimes in weeks or months, right? So it's very, very, and you've made yourself obviously incredibly adaptable as a result.
In many ways, yeah. I'm not very good. I'm not I'm not good at dealing with crises or changing plans. Come naturally to me, but I guess it's in many ways it's a learned behavior. I have had to get better at being spontaneous and accepting spontaneous offers. It's something that's come with practice for me. It's not natural.
So, what are for people who are not world travelers or bike packers? What are some items that you would never go without when you travel? Like over the 71,000 K, there must be certain bits of kit that you absolutely would not leave home without, or leave your tent without, or the next town without.
Well, let's say the phone is a given, shall we?
Yep.
But I don't have a bike computer. I don't have a laptop, so everything communication wise and photos is done on the phone. Um, Separate from that, I think a new addition that again I was gifted is a solar panel, which has been invaluable for charging a power bank. I do have a dynamo in the front wheel, which is great on days that I'm cycling. Like if I'm not cycling that day, then I'm not getting any power to my power bank. And also if I'm not going fast enough, if I'm going slowly through corrugated sand, then that's not going to charge anything. So the solar panel has been really good for the last couple of years. Um, my tent is really good. It's a good quality tent, but air mattresses, they come and go. I don't think I have many luxury items. Glancing over my stuff now.
What's your tent?
That
What
it's
tent
a
do you use?
MSR Hubba NX. So it's a two-person tent, which is it's a big palace for me now.
Yep.
But yeah, lots of room to bring the bags in, and yeah, plenty of room.
Keeps you
And
dry.
lightweight. Well, it did. It's 6 years old now, and it's lost a lot of its waterproofing. But when I set off last year onto this trip, I kind of looked at if I've tried the re-waterproofing stuff that you put in a washing machine, and that so I thought about re-waterproofing it, but then I said, no, I'm going to the Middle East. How wet can it be? It's actually been quite quite a wet winter. But
Yeah, I saw you in
otherwise,
a driving rainstorm the other day.
who knew that it rained that much in Saudi Arabia? Ridiculous. But
Well, maybe this podcast will get one of your Patreon donors to send you a new tent. So there you go.
well, yeah, I'm open to that for sure.
So on that note, I think it's a good segue. I mean, we could have multiple podcasts, and once you get to Africa, we're obviously going to hook up with you again because I want to hear how this is going. But we can in our show notes, you can send me all your different links. Obviously, at Hell's on Wheels, Hell's dot on Wheels. Is that what it is on Instagram?
Instagram is hells.on.wheels, one L in hells.on.wheels. And then Facebook and YouTube, it's just Hells on Wheels.
Excellent.
We'll
put the it's the best handle
job.
ever, especially since your last name is Dainty.
Yeah. No. Yeah, imagine the time I had in school with that one. But yeah,
oh, that's
wouldn't
so
change
good.
it now. Yep.
Well, this has been. I mean, it's funny how life. As I walk out of that hypermarket in Oman, see you, and now you're on our podcast. My only my second episode, so I'm just sort of drafting behind Pete. But we wish you all the best. Please keep in touch, and
Sure.
we will put all your links in our show notes, and we'll be putting out some more information on you. I know you don't need more followers because you've got loads of followers, but I encourage people to go to your Instagram account. Super well done. Lots of effort goes into it. You put a ton of effort into it, and YouTube as well. So we'll be in touch.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Helen. What a pleasure to meet you.
Oh,
Ride
thanks
safe.
so much.
Ride safe, and we'll hook up when you're in Africa, or maybe even in
Inshallah.
Jordan or Israel. Yeah, inshallah.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thanks,
shukran.
guys.
Okay, see you, Helen.
Be well.
Bye.